Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 30th March 2023. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Haribol TRSV nectar, NECTAR nectar. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of my other videos. Today in this vlog, we will continue our discussion about the vibrations of the soul and the super soul and the difference between the two. In that process, I shall give you an example of a very famous apocryphal story narrated by one of the most renowned spiritualists in the world, Zarathustra. In this story, it tells us about a very exalted monk who spent most of his time in a cave in the mountains meditating on God. So great and holy was this monk that he had a direct communion with God and he used to converse with God. This monk seldom came to the city to mingle with the crowd because he was a renunciant and he was always meditating. However, one day this monk thought of coming to the city, and while he was simply walking through the streets of the city, one day he came across a very big, beautiful pond in which there was a lot of water and some very small, merry children swimming, playing, and laughing inside it. The monk, being a monk, was very enthralled with this spectacle. He sat down to watch these children enjoying themselves in the pond. Then this monk saw one another small kid sitting forlorn in one of the corners of one of the steps of the pond. The boy was looking at the pond, but he was doing nothing. The monk was pained and intrigued. He went to the child and asked him, "Why don't you also join the other children and play in the river or pond?" The boy turned towards the monk and said, "I was born blind. I cannot see, and that is the reason why I cannot jump into the pond." The monk was stunned, distraught, and very pained. He prayed to God, "Lord, I have always been your devotee. You have condescended to have a communion with me. Kindly allow me to ask you a question. Why don't you make this boy see again? He was born blind. Please help me." God said, "My dear sire, though you are an exalted monk, you are still a soul whereas I am the super soul. You are responsible for and you have the knowledge about some of your destiny and doings. But I, as super soul, dwell in every living entity's psyche, and hence I know about every living entity in the world. Just like you are a great person and I helped you become a monk, I know about this boy, and that is why I allowed this boy to be made blind by birth. Please don't ask me why. The monk was contrite. He said sorry to God and said, Sire, I don't question your decision. However, I beg of you to give me a boon. Please give the two eyes to this boy back. I don't ask for anything else. God said, that is the reason why you are a monk. Whenever you ask for a boon, you ask for others and not for yourself. However, because you are my dear disciple, I accept to give you or grant you this boon. Let this boy have two eyes. The boy got his eyes. The monk was delighted. He said, Go, child, you also play in the pond. This boy immediately jumped into the pond, began strangling the other children and drowning them into the river. There was havoc and cries of help everywhere. The monk was horrified by this boy's deed. He again turned towards God. Lord, what is this? Why is this boy doing this? The Lord said, I told you just now, I am the super soul. I knew what this boy will do, and that is the reason why I took away his eyes so that he may not do any damage to other innocent children. The monk asked another boon. Lord, I'm sorry. Please take this boy's eyes again away again. Lord obliged. This boy became blind again. Lord knew about the sight of this blind child. He was evil from the neck down. And that is the reason to prevent him from doing further evil, God had made this boy blind. His brain was full of negative qualities. They were harmful to the society. This shows how the super soul decides on what another man should get or woman should get. He does not give you what you covet. He only gives you what you deserve. He will not allow you to do harm to other children of His, whether they are human or not. We should remember this and act accordingly. We should raise our sight to such a level that we become favorite children of the Lord, just like that monk. This is the story where we are told how the super soul knows about every living entity, whereas the soul knows only about itself and its own doing, that too not completely. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this subject. Please give me your own expert views, ideas, and thoughts so that we may blend everything together for the sake of this society. This spiritual vlog is meant to discuss the knowledge and information that we have gleaned from the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular case history or video was no exception to that rule. It was actually only an extension of what we were doing till now. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, this is Good Morning from TSV Raghavan.